Minnie is a calico kitten who enjoys chewing on things. Her owner is a bit worried about the flowers Minnie tried to eat and told us exactly what was in the arrangement. Minnie's been vomiting for several days and refuses food. Aw, the poor girl's barely alert. You really have to keep an eye on these guys when they're little. They get into everything. Internal problems can be very hard to diagnose. You wouldn't think something so little could vomit so much. I should take notes when I watch you work. The pulse is normal. Very clever. I will go right over to her owner and say she's in good hands. Is it just me, or is that gratitude in her eyes? She's current on her vaccines, and she came from a kitten rescue group. That reading doesn't look normal. Something is wrong with this guy's kidneys. This IV should help a lot. It's hard to keep them from chewing everything when they're this new.
Bravo! We definitely were right on target hiring you.
Minnie's ingestion of her owner's lilies produced lily toxicity with acute renal failure. Basically, she has kidney failure. She was diagnosed early enough so that this case isn't serious, but she will need several days of aggressive fluid therapy.
Hey, Flopsy's owners told me she hasn't eaten or passed a pellet in 3 days. And she's getting sicker. Subdued, I think is the word they used.
What's up, Doc? Sorry, couldn't resist. Poor baby. Just hanging there. She doesn't really do much at all, but we don't know what she'll be like when she's healthy. What's up, Doc? Sorry, couldn't resist. It's too bad you could only work on one patient at a time. I know, it'll be okay. Poor girl. Nobody deserves this. Look at that big ball in his stomach. The little guy's looking better already. This medicine will get him on the way to recovery. This should do it. Open wide, little guy.
Excellent performance, Doctor. Let the owners know that pineapple juice is the best preventative.
Stunning performance. You really know your stuff.
This rabbit's been grooming herself, and now she's got a pretty large hairball in her stomach. With other animals, that's not so serious, but a rabbit cannot vomit, so they can die from hairballs causing an obstruction in their stomach. Samantha is a lovely Lhasa Apso in perfect health. She's about 35 days pregnant, so she's here for her prenatal checkup. She's been bred with another champion, so there's a bit more pressure riding on this pregnancy. Even dogs are radiant when they're pregnant. Be sure to get every step taken care of. Start her off right. Ah, this is the joy of the job, helping to bring new life into this world. The pulse is normal. Samantha isn't the only champion here. Good job. Imagine how beautiful her puppies will be. What's the reading on that? Hey. Wow. Let's get that blood test to the lab. Stat. She had all her shots before she was bred. I think you should have a lengthy conversation with the owners after her exam. Make sure they're on the right track with their pregnancy.
Do carry on. Quite a slick performance.
Samantha is pregnant and about halfway through her pregnancy period. She'll probably have about 3 puppies. It's important that she does not receive calcium supplements during her pregnancy and that she is isolated from other dogs until about 3 weeks after she gives birth. Jeffrey is a duck who lives in a public pond. One of his regular visitors noticed that he wouldn't eat and seems to have trouble breathing. That nice man brought Jeffrey into us. See what you can do. His whole neighborhood is counting on you. His head won't stop shaking. Jeffrey is taken to rubbing his beak on the ground. He looks really uncomfortable. He doesn't have any obvious wounds, so it's a bit of a mystery. Pretty soft touch you got there. You've got this guy covered. Jeffrey usually loves visitors and gobbles up food, but this time, something really seemed wrong.
such a whiz!
This duck somehow got a foreign object stuck in his nasal cavity. He'll need to have it removed, but otherwise he's in pretty good shape. Lucky for him, he has caring friends at the park to take care of him.
Pardon me, my dog has hurt his leg. He's outside in the car with my granddaughter. Sometimes he acts like he doesn't remember he's 15. Plays like a pup, runs all around the house. He fell down and he hasn't had the use of his leg ever since.
Has he had any problems with that leg before?
No. Well, he was hit by a car once, but that was years ago. Before my wife passed. Well, he's a good boy. I just think you ought to take a special good care of him, okay?
Yes, of course we will.
Don't suppose it's arthritis, do you? My last dog had it something awful. I'll say, he tried to bite my hand off when I tried to rub his leg. Yeah, but I know my wife trained him to act better than this. Yeah, he's got a big hump on his leg.
Watch out, he'll bite you.
My wife always said, no more dogs after Ripper.
Gentle movements and a careful attention to detail have made you successful here. No wonder he's snappy. Look at that lesion. That leg doesn't look too good. Probably cancer.
My wife always said, no more dogs after Ripper.
He'll be back on his feet in no time at all.
Poor guy's getting on in years. He's just like his old man. We've never had any kids. So our pups are like our children.
I'm not sure what to say. Such brilliance!
Unfortunately, this dog has a cancerous bone tumor, which is why his leg broke so easily. Sadly, his broken leg has to be amputated to keep the cancer from spreading, and then he has to go through chemotherapy once he comes out of surgery. But the good news is the cancer hasn't spread yet, so things are looking up.
Dexter is a bullfrog with an unfortunate and sudden skin ailment. His owners left him out in the sun all day by accident, and when they came home last night, they noticed the blisters on his skin. Since then, he's been lethargic and barely eats. His skin is inflamed all over, in addition to the more obvious blisters. I'm blown away! Dexter's been raised in this family since he was just a tadpole. Excellent follow-through! This medicine will get him on the way to recovery. Keep going. You're getting there. His blisters should start to subside soon. Good work. Dexter even refused his favorite food this morning, mouse. makes his home in a Rubbermaid container, inside and outside, but usually in the shade, except today.
Bravo! We definitely were right on target hiring you.
Dexter has a bad case of sunburn. Besides the inflamed skin, he is lethargic and seems to have lost his appetite. He needs to be treated for his injuries, and hopefully his owners will be more careful next time. Fabio is a 6-month-old ferret. He often plays with the family cat, and their owner noticed that Fabio stole the cat's toy. Now the toy is missing, and Fabio won't stop vomiting, which means he's quite dehydrated. Fabio's been with the same owner since he was a kid. He seems in shock, and his mucous membranes are alarmingly pale. Fabio and Fluffy, the family cat, are both very young, so it seems natural to the family that they play together. I know, it'll be okay. Look at that big ball in his stomach. Looks like he's in shock. Fabio hasn't been eating since yesterday. At least, that's when the owner noticed. That should stop him from being so dehydrated. It's too bad you can only work on one patient at a time. His pain seems to be reduced.
Stunning performance. You really know your stuff.
Fabio is a very lively ferret who managed to swallow a play toy. This little guy will need surgery to remove the toy so he can get back to being his normal, playful self again. Patch here has been sneezing blood for several days. The owner, in their infinite wisdom, decided it wasn't a problem until they came home to a puddle of blood today. Hopefully, it's not too late for the poor little guy. I just can't understand how an owner doesn't freak out the minute they see blood. A bloody nose. Well, unending good work. Keep it up. Poor baby. Just hang in there. He hasn't eaten since this morning, if that helps. I know, it'll be okay. So far, so good. English Springer Spaniels have always been my favorite breed. Good idea. I don't know if I would have even thought of that. Way to make the best out of a bad situation. I'll be fine. I just need to get tougher skin. Nice work. We might be able to save this one.
Do carry on. Quite a slick performance.
Sadly, Patch has a bad form of cancer. This is evident from the mass on his nose, which caused the nosebleed. Patch's quality of life can be increased temporarily with treatment, but he will need to see an oncologist for further treatment options.
It's me again, remember? I have the iguana.
Oh, hey. How is Mrs. Green?
She's good. I even got her a Mr. Green. It's Irving here that I'm worried about. His tank fell off the shelf and broke. Irving, disappeared for a few days. I finally found him in the basement behind a box. I tried to feed him all his favorite foods, mice, insects, all the stuff he likes, but he won't eat.
Really?
Now he's making that weird noise thing, and sometimes he opens his mouth when he breathes.
Okay. We'll take care of it.
You think she swallowed something in the basement? Don't think so. But come to think of it, he does look a little different. Not really. I mean, he feels normal, but something about him seems different. All I can think is he looks thinner. Maybe he shed or something.
The snake's eyes aren't normal, are they? Good. Proceed.
My parents let me keep Irving and the other pets as long as I promised to keep my grades up. They had some trouble with my big sister.
Always a pleasure watching you work. Always a pleasure watching you work. Let's get him heated up. Doing great so far.
You're such a whiz!
When this ball python was lost in the basement, he contracted a respiratory infection due to the cold and stress of the situation. After being warmed and treated with antibiotics, he is still very weak and needs to be taken home and force-fed dead prey.
Pongo isn't living up to his name lately. His urine has been bloody for a few days, and his owners are really thrown by that. They noticed his urine stream has been irregular, and the blood is a whole new ballgame to them. Pongo eats regular dry food, has all his shots, and sleeps in a special little bed. He's only 2. He hasn't gotten a chance to live his full life yet. You clearly thought that one through. That's one for the books. That was the perfect step to take. Is that actually blood, or is that something else? I know it's a cliche to say, but time is of the essence. We should also test his urine. Doc, there's some blood in that urine. Pongo. Isn't that a fun name to say? Pongo. That should stop him from being so dehydrated. Way to make the best out of a bad situation. Let's make sure he doesn't have any bladder stones.
I'm not sure what to say. Such brilliance!
Pongo has bladder stones, which were produced by his inability to urinate properly and rid himself of dangerous uric acids. This is common in Dalmatians and potentially deadly in males. Luckily, his urine flow has been reestablished. Once he is stabilized, he will need to have those bladder stones removed in surgery. Afterwards, he needs a low-protein diet and periodic monitoring of his uric acid levels. Suzy hears a chinchilla and she's having a seizure. Quick! Quick, her temperature's at 108 already. She got out of her cage and into the 105-degree heat. Get going on her right now. Suzy never goes outside, so something might have scared her. This is a grand mal seizure. Scary stuff. Definitely hasn't been getting enough oxygen. Good, keep her steady, just like you're doing. Suzy got out sometime last night, so who knows what she got into. If she could talk, she'd thank you. Good. Next. The owners found Suzy outside after the dog's barking brought them to her. Fluids will take him out of shock.
You're such a whiz!
Suzy has a bad case of heat stroke as a result of being outside on a very hot day. The outside temperature caused her to have a high fever, and eventually she went into shock. It is very important to cool her body off, and she will need to go into intensive care to stabilize her body.
Please, miss, I need your help. My Fluffers here fell off my balcony. I'm afraid she's very badly hurt. She's limping and she can't breathe.
It's okay. We'll look at her. Has this ever happened before?
No. My Fluffers is the most elegant and graceful. Aren't you, my sweetie cute? Yes, you are. You know, miss, I have 12 cats. And ever since I was a little girl, I would take them from the
I'm sorry to
all the little
interrupt.
alley
Is she
cats,
up
and I
to
took
date
to
on her
health and little
vaccinations?
creams and so. Well, she certainly is. I suppose I should tell you that ever since she was in kittendom, she has had a little shortness of breath, which does return once in a while, but it's nothing to worry about. Is it, my little hun, my little lamb's letters? Oh, Fluffy, oh, I love you.
Solve one part of the mystery and then tackle the other.
But she's been very hyper lately. Now, I don't think she's been eating. Her poor little stomach is so flat. She had a bloody nose earlier, and from the fall, I think.
Breathe in. I know. It'll be okay.
What?
And you do it all with such style. Looks like he's in shock. Excellent follow-through.
Come on, Fluffers. Smile for Mommy.
Look at her. She looks so uncomfortable. I know. It'll be okay. Fracture in there. Be gentle with him. Getting better all the time. Good job. Don't get cocky.
Please help her, Doctor. Her brother Scratch and Sir Snuffles will miss her so much.
I know. It'll be okay.
Do carry on. Quite a slick performance.
This poor cat must have fallen and fractured her front paw, and much worse, created a tear in the diaphragm that lets certain internal organs escape up to the lungs and interfere with her breathing. In less horrifying news, she'll need a splint for that fracture.
Pokey's been down in the dumps lately, and her shell has become discolored. Her shell problems have been happening for a month, but her owners just thought she was shedding. She lives in the family's child's room, who claims he's been feeding her, but the mom can't verify that. Pokey's only been with her family for 2 months. I bet they don't know her too well yet. What are those patches? Looks pretty infected. Asking the owners lots of questions helps further the success of your work. At least she's still eating fine. That was the perfect step to take. I'm impressed. Not many people are good with these types. That's very encouraging. Her shell looks better already. Don't worry, that's as fast as she normally moves. Great improvement. Her shell's turning almost white in places.
Bravo! We definitely were right on target hiring you.
Poor Pokey has come down with a case of shell rot, a bacterial infection that causes shedding, discoloration, and a slimy film on the shell. Proper and continual topical medication will cure this problem. Owner education is necessary to inform the owners of the proper setup of Pokey's living environment. They'll need to make sure she has aeration in the tank and an external light source. Poor Franco. Here is a 5-year-old Labrador. He loves to ride in the back of his owner's pickup, but he fell out yesterday afternoon. His owner thought his foot was just a little sore, but now it's completely dropped. Franco eats normally and still wants to play despite his injured leg. He needs you to heal it for him. Think, what might cause something like this? All animals should be lucky enough to have you in their lives. Solve one part of the mystery, and then tackle the other. That's one for the books. Way to make the best out of a bad situation. You have the touch. Surprisingly, Franco's been eating just fine since the accident. I know, it'll be okay. This dog's respiratory functions are all normal. Franco looks young for his age, doesn't he? Good idea. I don't know if I would have even thought of that. Nice work. We might be able to save this one. These aren't too bad. Pretty minor. This medicine will get him on the way to recovery. His pain seems to be reduced.
performance. You really know your stuff.
Franco's foot injury was most likely the result of damage to the spinal nerves that control his foot. The owner must now decide whether to wait and hope for further recovery or amputate his leg now. Most likely, amputation will, unfortunately, need to be done at some point. Pretty Bird has a fractured wing after flying into a glass door. He now has urgent respiratory difficulty and internal hemorrhaging. Work quickly with this one. He likes to sit calmly on his T-stand. Looks like he's in shock. Good use of procedure. You are a true asset to this hospital. He's been with the family since birth. Pretty Bird was their son Jimmy's first words. You clearly thought that one through. You sure turned that one around, didn't you? There's a fracture in there. Be gentle with him. His owner used to clip his wings, but Pretty Bird didn't like to fly, so they figured they didn't have to clip them anymore. Guess they didn't count on his natural instincts kicking in. Very precise. Impressive. Fluids will take him out of shock. Can you believe Pretty Bird's already 13 years old?
I'm not sure what to say. Such brilliance!
Pretty Bird has ended up with a fractured wing, which leads to respiratory distress and trauma for the macaw. Birds in general stress very easily, so it's important to keep them as stress-free as possible. After the fracture heals, it is recommended that the owner have the bird's wings clipped so that any future mishaps can be prevented.
Gang shooting, drive-by. Shepard got in the way and was shot through the right foreleg. He's in trauma now. We're gonna have to muzzle him. She couldn't wait another day for the captain of her... sorry, that's just been in my head the last few minutes. Not the cleanest dog I've seen. I'm good to go, Doc. I'm on new allergy medicine, so I'm up for anything. He was brought in a month ago for a routine exam, but he checked out normal. That doesn't look so good. Now would probably be a bad time to mention, but I have allergy problem with dogs. Good idea. Let's get some fluids in him. Real nice. Shoot the dog. That proves you're a tough guy. Good job. I knew Ellie was wrong about you. That bullet broke the bone into 4 pieces. Is surgery or amputation the best solution? Achoo! Oh, must be doing something right, because my sneeze is getting worse. I'm sorry about that. This poor guy's driving my allergies nuts. Good job. I knew Ellie was wrong about you. Wow, you were awesome in there. It makes the whole team feel good when we save one. Nice job.
Stunning performance. You really know your stuff.
The dog was shot and now has quite a lot of tissue damage in his arm bone, namely a comminuted right humeral fracture. Amputation is sometimes preferred, since reconstructive surgery in this case is complicated and expensive.
Daphne is a calico who just returned from a 3-week roam, beating out her previous record by 1 night. Although she came back so skinny, she still won't eat. Funny thing is, her eyes were blue before she disappeared, but now they're green. I know it's a cliche to say, but time is of the essence. Could be a shock or infection. What do you think? Poor baby. Just hanging there. Why would she have different traits after a long vacation from her family? A moment of celebration is in order. Actually, no, you need to keep working. You sure turned that one around, didn't you? Poor girl. Nobody deserves this. Another satisfied customer. What a pro. We should also test his urine. Look at her. She looks so uncomfortable. Such a brave kitty. Good use of procedure. It's an honor to work with you. Solve one part of the mystery, and then tackle the other. That was the perfect step to take. Breathe in. She wouldn't eat the last time we tried. Now you're getting to it. It's just not the obvious, is it? Way to make the best out of a bad situation. That was the perfect step to take.
You're such a whiz!
Daphne is jaundiced, which is why her blue eyes are now green. This jaundice is indicative of her fatty liver syndrome. Since she was overweight when she disappeared, her starving during this period caused liver problems. She will need several days at the hospital to stabilize her, and her owner needs to learn how to manage her new feeding tube. Okay, we've got a real emergency here. This dove has been shot with a pellet gun. He was found on a hiking trail while the client was on it this morning. He's already in shock and breathing through his mouth. He was shot in the breast. A bad situation. Good for him, someone noticed him on the path. Looks like he's in shock. You're a real gem. He has clear entry and exit wounds, so the basic cause of the injury is obvious. Quick with the essentials. That's precisely what this bird needs. This medicine will get him on the way to recovery. A moment of celebration is in order. Actually, no, you need to keep working. It's an honor to work with you. His pain seems to be reduced. It's so sad when people think they can shoot at animals as if they don't suffer too.
Do carry on. Quite a slick performance.
This dove is in shock due to the traumatic event of being shot with a pellet gun. Luckily, there are no bone fractures, but he will still need surgery to close up the wounds. Poor guy. Hopefully he's strong enough to recover from this horrible ordeal.
Okay, we've got protracted vomiting with collapse. Murray was with a dog sitter who didn't know he had an eating disorder. Within 20 minutes, he ate a bag of pretzels, a bar of soap, some dry couscous, and a box of chocolates, including the wrappers. Those gums look a little blue. That doesn't look so good. Some people, I mean honestly, if you say you're gonna watch the dog, watch the dog. That doesn't look so good. Remember this glorious moment when things get tough. Very clever. You better give him something to fix that heartbeat. Might I recommend following up on him after he leaves? I'm worried about his home life. Good idea. Let's get some fluids in him. Let's get him settled down. Look at how twisted his stomach is. Good call, but it's not helping. That is some foul-smelling gas. He's definitely sick. Not many people could have pulled off that move.
Well, you've handled a critical situation like the professional that you are.
I'm not sure what to say. Such brilliance!
It turns out that Great Danes are at the greatest risk for bloat. Bloating is a serious, urgent condition where the stomach fills up with air and it messes with the circulation and causes the animal to go into shock. Surgery is practically necessary to treat this condition because bloat will almost definitely happen again without it.
Mr. Quacker is a duck who was found being dragged by the family puppy, and now he's bleeding and in shock. His bone is visible through his injured leg, and he's having trouble breathing. Hurry, Doc. He's in real trouble. He has pale mucous membranes and continues to hemorrhage from his leg. Look at his mouth, gaping open like that. Poor guy's struggling to breathe. Mr. Quacker lives happily with 5 other ducks. And the new puppy they've had to contend with for the last few months. There's a fracture in there. Be gentle with him. I gotta say, you're not bad with exotic pets. Hey, at least his bleeding has calmed down. The owner has been trying to teach the puppy not to bug the ducks, but it hasn't taken. Poor Mr. Quacker. Very precise. Impressive. His pain seems to be reduced. Look at his mouth, gaping open like that. Poor guy's struggling to breathe.
Bravo! We definitely were right on target hiring you.
Mr. Quacker is in shock as a result of being used as a play toy by the family puppy. The leg fracture caused by the puppy is really bad. Hopefully, Mr. Quacker will be able to heal and hopefully forgive soon.
Remember Samantha? You had her in during her pregnancy? Seems her owners preferred to listen to a friend's tip and ignore our advice by supplementing calcium later in her pregnancy. Her pups are fine, but she's been having increasingly worse tremors. See if you can repair the damage. She delivered her litter 5 days ago. Too much calcium can have a wide variety of effects. Remember this glorious moment when things get tough. Aw, the poor girl's barely alert. Thank goodness for you. The pulse is high. That temperature is too high. Looks like her owners did one right thing, bringing her to you. Fluids are always a good idea. We told her owners one thing and they did another. Hey, we're only the experts. There I go again, being bitter. Samantha's tremors seem eased now. I'll get this going right away. This will make you feel better. Her calcium levels are really low.
Sure what to say. Such brilliance!
Samantha's owners didn't listen and gave her dangerous calcium supplements, resulting in puerperal tetany, which involves tremors and seizures. This is obviously a serious condition. Ironically, she will now have to be treated with calcium until she's finished lactating. It's advisable not to breed her again, and her puppies must be bottle-fed every other day to reduce her calcium demand. Desdemona is a beloved 5-year-old ferret with bald spots. She doesn't seem embarrassed or even inconvenienced by it. Her owners have noticed her hair loss over the last few months, but are only now starting to worry. Be especially inquisitive on this one. At least she's still eating fine. Besides her hair loss, she seems perfectly normal. Poor girl. Nobody deserves this. Desdemona has never had any health problems before this. So far, so good. See? Your instincts were right again. What an exciting decision. Swift, but creative. This should do it. Open wide, little guy. Desi is spoiled and well taken care of, including a high-quality ferret diet.
You're such a whiz!
Desdemona has fur loss as a result of adrenal gland disease, where the enlarged adrenal gland produces an excessive amount of hormones in the blood, which in turn can cause body changes such as fur loss or aggression. Surgery will be needed to remove the enlarged gland, and Desdemona will need continual care to ensure she recovers without any complications.
Hello, I'm not sure if you remember me or not, but I was here a while back with my Fluffers.
Yes, of course, I remember you.
Good.
What brings you back?
My Sonny boy here is having a problem. I don't know how to say this ladylike, but he's been having a problem urinating. And today he started vomiting. And also, he's been licking his privates and crying. Oh, poor honey. Oh, I love you. Mommy loves you. So I thought with the vomiting, I should bring him in.
Oh, absolutely. If you ever have a concern about any of your cats, come right in. We'll take care of them.
Oh, thank you so much. Did you hear that, my little Sonny boy? My little baby buns. She's gonna take good care of you. Oh, thanks again. You're gonna be okay. Yes.
Such a brave kitty.
He's breathing so heavily. What does that mean? Well, I can't tell. Isn't there something you do when they're acting like this? Well, his pee had blood in it. Is something wrong down there?
Doc, there's some blood in that urine.
Oh, sweetie, I know it hurts. Just be a good baby. And the doc...
You're a real gem. Let's make sure he doesn't have any bladder stones. He isn't on any medications yet. That's one for the books. That should stop him from being so dehydrated. Good job. You may have just earned us 12 brand new customers.
I have 12 other cats at home. Sonny's one of the babies.
Doc, there's some blood in that urine. Let's make sure he doesn't have any bladder stones.
I can't tell you how proud you've made me. It's meant a lot to all of us having you here. You see, I've been awarded a research grant and I'd like to go back to the wild animal park where I was raised so I can continue to work on new treatment techniques. I've had my own selfish reasons for wanting you to be the best. Follow me to the lounge. Congratulations. Everyone, I'd like you to meet your new supervisor.
Drinks are all in the house. Nice job.
Congratulations! For an extra added surprise, Mary Jo has made a little donation to Legacy in your name.
Maybe some dancing girls.
Why don't you decide what's best? We all know we can trust your judgment.
Do carry on. Quite a slick performance.
This cat had feline lower urinary tract disease. For males, this condition can prove fatal within days, so it was important to stop the blockage of his urinary tract immediately. The cat needs to eat only canned food, get as much water as possible, and be a bit spoiled for a while to keep him from getting stressed.